everybody. Today I'm going to do my April unboxing haul. I want to assimilate into my collection and start using. So let's just dive right in. Go ahead and get started. Alright. Alright. So the three things we have to review today are the Artist Loft palette knife, which I've seen other people on YouTube use to cut washi tape, and I will have all of that information linked below. Everything you see today will be linked below. I've got Tombow Mono drawing pens, which I've always seen, floating around on YouTube. They've got these real thin nibs, and I'm really excited to try these. And then finally, I have these Ultra tabs, which I first saw in Planning with Kay's journal. She had hers sent to her by Avery. These I bought myself. These two I got off of Amazon, and this I picked up at Michael's directly. So, what should we do first? Let's do the mono pens first. So as you can see, I have not opened these, so you are going to get my first reaction to everything. And I'm kind of just destroying the package here because I have a whole binder for all of my pens, which if you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know, and I will take you through my organization system for my pens and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so we've got our mono pens. So I'm going to go ahead and flip open to the swatch page in my bullet journal. So the rest of these swatches will be included in my Keygood journal review, which will be happening probably closer to the end of June, just because that's when I will be migrating out of this journal. But yeah, you can see all the other swatches that I've done so far. So the first one I'm going to try, we might as well go in order. So I have the 01, 03, and 05. Oh, that satisfying new pen click. Did you hear it? Okay, so Tombow. Okay. I can already tell you that I love the feel of this pen. I don't know, there's something just so satisfying about the nib being so skinny. You can really see where you're writing while you're writing, kind of like if you guys have seen those new highlighters that are like see-through, that's kind of how I feel with these. I can see exactly where I'm writing. So they're very, very precise, and I can see what I'm doing. Where sometimes I feel like my hand is in the way, especially if you're a lefty, maybe this might be really, I'm somewhat ambidextrous. I don't usually write with my left hand, but yeah, I can definitely really see where I'm going. Yeah. Ooh, and just another detail about this pen, it has what size it is in like embossed in silver on the top, and then also down here. So I really like that feature, just because then the cap and the pen, if they get separated, you can put them back together again. Next, going in order, let's do the 03. I can tell that this one just feels thicker. I feel like it might just be my mind playing tricks on me, but it really does feel thicker than the 03. So this one, to me, just the tooth and the grip it has on the page is a lot more like the Papermate Flare. I know that, so the Papermate Flares are felt, and I don't actually really know what the nibs of these are. They kind of look like a fabric, like a felt. I don't even know if you can see that. Yeah, so the thickness is definitely different, but more just like the grip it has on the page. I'm gonna put a P next to that so I know that's for Pentel. But it's just like, there's a tooth and grit on the page that I really just didn't get with the 01, which is fine. Because if I'm going in for really details, I'm like those really tiny details, I'm not sure I want a ton of grip. Alright, and finally with the 05, ooh, okay. Okay, So this one I would say is very similar to the thickness of the Pentel Papermate. It didn't necessarily feel like it while I was writing. This one feels very, very smooth, whereas the other one has more of a grip. But yeah, I would say this Tombow Mono 05 is pretty similar to, I'm gonna zoom you back out here. It's pretty similar to these Papermates. It feels like a very similar, like, comparable size. Whereas I would say the 01 is unlike any of the other pens you can see on here. These are all of my pens. It's very different from anything else I have. The 03, I think it's more of a feel difference for me that I like. It's that like grip on the paper, whereas I think I would use the 01 for something really, really skinny. Actually, there's one other thing I want to test. The 01 might be similar to the small end of my artwork pens. Let's see if I can actually find it. Here we go. Okay, so here are my artwork. I realized I only have them swatched on the big side. I didn't actually swatch the small sides because I was kind of more going for color than size when I did this. So let me go ahead. Alright. Definitely pretty skinny, and the nibs look similar. Like I said, all of these products are going to be linked below. So if you see something or you see a color on here that you like, definitely check my description box and my little Amazon list that I've set up. Yep, not even these. I'm gonna see if I can get closer to the camera for you to see. The artwork is the one on the left, and the Tombow 01 is on the right. You can definitely tell that this one is thicker. So this is, I'm going out of focus again. So this is definitely the skinniest pen I own, which I think is going to be a great addition to my pen. I want to say collection, but my pen repertoire is, I think, what we're going to go with. Alright, so moving right along, now I'm going to review this washi tape. I guess it's a palette knife, but I'm going to use it as a washi tape knife. So if you watched my YouTube plan with me, you will see that I actually use this palette knife just because I could not wait. But I'm actually going to show you how it works and some of the tips and tricks that I found for it. So I just pulled out a couple different washis from my collection. If I can find them, they will be linked below, but some of my washi is kind of old. So I like this. This is probably one of the skinniest washis I have. Not the skinniest, but one of the skinniest. It's just about a line in an A5 journal. So what you're going to do is, instead of holding it up in the handle, I kind of get my hand down here on the actual knife itself and then rip fast. And it's a perfectly straight line. So try it with something a little bit wider for you to see. You will be seeing this lovely washi tape in one of my future plan with me's as I work myself backwards through my journals. Yeah, the trick is definitely to go fast. If you try to go too slow with this palette knife, it will, or if you have it at too high of an angle, I'll show you that next. If you have it up too high, well, that time it actually worked, but you can see it kind of ripped. Can you see that? It kind of ripped the edge a little bit, and it's not quite as straight. So I would definitely recommend having it farther down at an angle rather than straight up and down. Last but not least, got a couple koi fishies in here. This is the first one I've tried that isn't long enough. So you can see I kind of started up here and then moved my way down. Just like when you're cutting with scissors or anything else, if you can't do the whole length, just go as far as you can. So yeah, this was only about $3 at Michael's craft store, and I would definitely say it was worth it. I think it'll be something that I continue to use a lot and will last for a long time. Alright, so the last thing I have to review is these Avery Ultra Tabs. So it comes with 18, and I think I am going to only tab my monthly calendars. So let's go ahead. I also use my monthly calendars for my schoolwork, which as we head into the summer, you won't be seeing as much. Oh, here we go. There's a little lip right here. Perfect. Okay. Didn't know how to get in there. All right. So it also says that these are, you can write on them, so we will test that as well. All right, so we've got like a silver holographic, a gold, and then kind of like a rose gold holographic. Oh, I love these. Look how shiny. Ah, okay. So let's go ahead to my May monthly calendar. So you can see I'm starting to fill it in a little bit. And let's just go ahead and start with silver. I'm only going to be in this bullet journal for 2 more months. And since this Key Good journal does come with 2 ribbons, I'm not sure I necessarily need the tabs right now, but I definitely want to try them out so that I know if I like them and where I like them to put in my Erin Condren. So the holographic is on both sides, the sticky side and the non-sticky side, which I think is a great feature. So I'm just going to come in here real carefully. I don't really want to cover my avocado, so there we go. Okay, close the journal. Super cute. And it's such a small journal like this, I'm not necessarily sure I love how far they stick out. So let's see how repositionable they actually are. Oh, I can't even tell you how smooth that was to pull that back up. Just try to get that really on there. Yeah, it peels up just like butter. There's no residue, there's no anything, which I love. So there is that. So now let's go ahead and try to write on this and see what happens, or I guess what doesn't happen. I've had pretty good luck writing on tabs with pencil before, so that's going to be the first thing I try. Alright, I'm just going to put May. Nothing crazy. Oh, I don't see anything. Is it maybe these that you can write on? Okay, so the clear, this is not the sticky side, but the other side of the sticky, that wrote on really, really clearly. I can't necessarily write on the holographic part, which I'm not sure I would want to write on the holographic part anyway. Let's see how well it erases. Good polymer eraser. Yep, and it comes right off. Alright, so now that I'm looking at it, the back of this packaging just says there's 2-sided tabs that you can write on both sides. It doesn't actually say that it's erasable. It just says it's smudge free. Alright, so I am not actually going to test pens on here because since they are so removable, I want to be able to use these years to come if I can. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. Let me know down in the description box what you, or in the comments, what you think of these Avery tabs, the palette knife, and then of course my newest additions to my pen collection, the monoliners. So yeah, go ahead and let me know in the comment box what else you would like to see me review, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.